queens, and gentle Xenos, coming to you live from Rick Priestley's luxurious mansion. This is the #1 Tyranid shit show on the internet, the Creature Conference. And here is your host, Mr. Pink.
That's you, Nick. That's you coming through, Nick.
Why? Oh, why do I have it open in the... Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm just breaking every... Oh, that was an excellent... And look, dead screen. I have the thing open in the background. Why do I have the thing open in the background? Oh, I don't have my camera plugged in. No,
Opening to a black screen.
wow.
Excellent.
Wow. Hi. If you've never joined the Creature Conference before, you are in for a treat. This is exactly what you can come to expect from us.
Yeah, the most professional.
I turned my camera on. I didn't have it plugged in. My bad.
We should all be VTubers just to have our ragdolls glitching all over the screen.
Now it's gonna do the stupid thing where it's like, oh, you have a camera? Oh, that's how cute. Oh, you'd like me to use your camera?
Oh, yeah,
there we
use
go.
my camera.
Oh, no. Oh?
Use the camera, yeah.
Yeah, use my camera.
Why
use all
getting,
of it.
Why you gotta be... Why? Oh, look, it came in just in time for me to grab the sign that's definitely not gonna unplug all my shit. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We've got video. Got video just in time for the most important part, which is the Slaaneshi content sign. If you've never joined a Creature Conference stream before, this is exactly par for the course in terms of starting up with weird technical difficulties. But welcome. Welcome to the #1 Xenos, whatever, shit show on the internet, Creature Conference. I am your host, Modern Synthesist, otherwise known as Mr. Pink. I can get my stuff figured out. I am joined tonight by my co-hosts, my hobby brother from another mother, Hydra.
Goody.
Hello, Hydra. Thanks for joining. And my other regular co-host, Flynnhammer.
Hello.
Hello, Flynnhammer. Hello. And we are also joined by a special guest this evening in the form of our one and only Agent of Chaos, the Doom Master himself, Symbio Joe. Hello, Joe.
Also known as the decoy German.
The decoy German. That's how we freak people out. We're like, oh yeah, we got a German right here. Do not look at what's behind the curtain. I'm just gonna see if I can get Simon's video in, because for some reason, why does it do this? Oh shit, that was the wrong thing. Whoops. Sometimes this is all set up beautifully when I open it again. Other times, it's trash.
And today is trash time.
What's that? Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's
Today
not
is
good
trash time.
So what? I don't know. I'm just gonna roll with it. Yeah, starting a little late this evening because I had a lot of work to do at work today. Usually I got a little time between finishing work and starting stream, but that didn't work out today because I'm covering for like 2 people, and Symbio Joe's like, 2 people? I cover for 2 people all the time. Amateur.
That's German efficiency.
Exactly. Rotate this.
Covering for all the dudes all the time.
So Simon, what was that cool thing that you were just painting there?
I am in the midst of the monstrous task to get stuff done. Because my lovely wife has gifted me a weekend with some friends in a house as her birthday gift.
Yeah.
And of course, these all those people are hobbyist nerds, and we quickly agreed that we would play Frostgrave, and have the whole weekend, turn the whole weekend into Frostgrave campaign weekend, and that was in December, and we were all like, "Oh yeah, December. This is going to happen in April. This is far, far away." And we all took it relaxed, and everyone was working on their projects and whatnot. And suddenly now we are almost there, and I kind of took it on me to make this campaign weekend, and therefore, if you know anything about Frostgrave, one of the very fun parts is that you can play it very narratively. Yeah. Because you can play it as a campaign. It's not really competitive, because you're basically rolling d20s against each other and hoping for the best. Yeah. And therefore, there's lots of unpredictability in it, which is great because we have people who play regularly and we have people who haven't played in years. Yeah. On that weekend, so that's great. Frostgrave per se is a very easy to learn system, and one of the aspects I really like are the monsters, like the NPCs. Yeah. Where you can basically have the excuse to build whatever and have it run over the table, and I have set up a narration,
narrative.
There's kind of a hookup for why everyone's there, and there's kind of a very simple storyline. We're going to play 4 games, and I needed something to be the big final things, the big monsters in the end, because of course, if you know me, I want it to be Lovecraftian, and therefore I have kind of tried to work all those things in that I have kind of described in that one article that I wrote for the 28 mag, and having smaller heroes and larger monsters. And I wanted, for quite a while, there's something, maybe you know the painting from Dali with those laughably huge elephants on those spider legs.
Yep.
And I wanted to build something that is just for tabletop miniature laughably huge. And this was the perfect excuse. And I had my printer minion print me out some parts from a what was it called, bestiarium miniature. Yeah. And he just printed out some hands and some legs, and I stuck them together to make them turn this whole thing into massively tall walking things that remind everyone of War of the Worlds. Yeah, which is absolutely fine. And I'm trying right now to paint. I don't know, something about 30 miniatures for this event. Until next Thursday.
Sounds reasonable. What happens next Thursday? That's when you leave?
Yeah, because that's when I'm packing up things.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool. And I sent you this message directly, and you never replied to it. I don't know if you're trying to ignore it, but how many NPCs have you created over your lifetime for different Frostgrave games?
Well, to be fair, I had more. I have 30 minis upstairs, which I had very closely after you sent me this message. I had the same discussion with my wife, and she pretty much said, well, this should be fun. And I said, well, I'm having fun. And she said, well, you look stressed out. And I said, well, that's fun to me.
This is my fun face.
This is my fun face. Leave me alone, woman. Then she said, but you should have fun. And then I acknowledged to the fact that it might be a bit too much what I'm doing or trying to achieve. And so I went to my gaming group and said, hey, can we get somehow like almost 40 different cultist-esque minis together?
Yeah.
And so I loaded that off. And now that my group doesn't know what the last scenario will be, how it works, and they have not seen these large things.
Unless they watch our streams. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't think so. As much as I hope, I don't think so. So they haven't seen those huge things, and I want them to hide in a box, and then at the very end just take them out, and everyone will hopefully be like, oh, this is so large, and then they look at the rules and will be like, oh, how are we going to survive this? And I will say, not at all.
You don't. That's the thing, you don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's my stupid plan. It is very interesting because I have to drastically change how I work. I have kind of sped up my my painting style over the last years.
Yeah.
And now I have to speed it up even more because I want those things. This is the minimum setup that I want, that I can do.
Yeah.
And now I have to think about ways to make it all happen, and painting schemes to make it look good without spending too much on all the little details.
You should just get your sons to help you paint them.
Yeah, just let paint on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
You know, it's done. 3 colors, right?
Well, there are certain parts. I Zenithal primed them, and there are certain parts where I'm happy to just leave them how they are because they already look cool to me. But
yeah,
And what's also pretty cool is that there's a dude on Instagram called Immaterial Creations, I think.
Is it material or immaterial?
Immaterial.
Immaterial, yeah.
And he it's a good while ago that he asked if people would be interested in a bash trade. So he set up the whole thing where he kind of found people willing to trade miniatures, which are just bashed, and send to each other, and then have it painted. And I signed up for that, and I got together with Rivet Winter something, a dude from Berlin.
Winter.
And he's doing currently lots of things for the negative space 28 thing that's going on. And we got together. We got talking. He loves Lovecraft, and I do, and we talked about Lovecraft, and he made me this tentacle monster thing, and for the occasion, so I have to paint it for the campaign weekend. And that's pretty cool. Love it.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
That's me trying to finish things.
And what? Wait. Okay, we're out of whack. So usually we start the stream by telling everyone what part of Rick Priestley's, like, if you watch that little intro dealy that I put together with help from many people. Bits of Box did the animation. Symbio Joe does the voiceover. Red Wet Skeleton did the music. Oh wait, yeah, Red Wet Skeleton did the music. In that, we say we're coming to you live from Rick Priestley's basement, but you know, we like to move around in Rick Priestley's house. So Symbio Joe, why don't you tell everyone what part of Rick Priestley's palatial Warhammer mansion we're coming to them live from this week?
Well, we did not move all too far from the basement. We are basically still there, but we are in the washing house.
Oh, okay. So people might hear some washing machine sounds in the background. Wait, washing house. What do you mean washing house?
I just got the laundry,
Yeah,
the place where all the dirty laundry is gathered.
Yeah.
Nice.
Symbio, you're
I'm
like a cat,
sitting
aren't
right
you? You're
next to
just
my
you're
own.
just sitting in the bin with all the warm, freshly dried clothes, aren't you?
Yeah, because my hair is not on it anymore. It's quite offensive. I put a lot of effort to put my hair everywhere.
Only beard hairs. Only beard hairs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where we are.
Thanks,
And
dude.
enjoy the comfiness of this place. Also, don't eat the Tide Pods and don't drink the bleach.
But they look so appetizing.
Yeah, why not?
Are we gonna get demonetized for saying
Why-
the word Tide Pods? I hope not.
I heard that helps against Corona.
Ah!
Bro, that was. Oof. Let's leave that behind.
Yeah, okay. All right, Symbio, how are you doing this week?
I enjoyed some nice not working days.
Good.
And now I'm back to work, and my colleague enjoys some nice not working days.
Oh, because
Yeah.
you're covering.
Yeah, I'm covering because I covered for 5 weeks. Then he stopped being sick and came back for a week, and now he's off for a week of vacation.
Oh,
Good
fuck.
timing.
Great timing, yeah, of course. So some who may have seen the last VIP Wednesday know what I'm up to. My version of the Pyro War takes way too long.
Oh,
It does not look like I want it to. I broke it to pieces. I put it back together.
What? It was looking so
um,
good. Why'd you break it to pieces?
Right. Because long legs also are very good levers, and when you put pressure on the wrong part, they snap off quite easily.
Ah, sorry. I understood that you broke it to pieces intentionally. You broke it to pieces
No,
unintentionally.
unintentionally.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and right now I'm in the final stages. I only have to sculpt one joint, and then I will put on the 2 Funrine Sleepers scything talons.
Mhm.
Then I have to figure out how to put it on the base. No one has ever addressed that the new Pyrovore and the new Biovore are on a bigger base than the Hive Tyrant.
Are they?
Also, the new
Yep,
spore
they're-
mines. The new spore mines are bloody huge.
They're huge.
What,
They're too
what
big.
is
They're
going
too
on
big.
here?
They're way too big.
That's scale creep.
That's spore sack creep.
The scale creep.
Yeah, that
Sorry
is.
to- I'm gonna burst your
Lynn, what are you saying?
mines have been that size for the last. All mines have been that size for the last four editions.
No, dude.
the
You mean their
Warhammer.
base maybe, but like the models are massive. They're so much bigger than the
Okay.
ones that came with the Harpy Hive Crone.
No, they are the same size.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
Do you
No
want me to get
way!
out spore mines here? Do I need to go get some spore mines?
Oh, he's getting out the spore mines, kids. Open your eyes.
Don't make me get up and get my spore mines.
They're the same height.
No, they're the same height,
they're
but what about
strange.
like the size of the actual spore? Because like when I busted
about
them out
the
of the
girth?
Biovore box, they were laughably huge.
I heard they swell when you get older.
No, they drop.
Well, the Biovore is pretty old.
Oh, good lord. Oh yes, but on to give it all a positive twist, I of course learned from the experience, and I will put it to use on my next project and hopefully get something that will be more pleasing to me. I still have the hope that when everything's painted, it will look better overall, because you have this disconnect when you have a lot of plastic, and in between those green stuff bits, it looks sometimes very off until
Yeah, you're right.
you throw primer on, and then it looks a lot better. And when it's all painted as well. There was something else I already forgot because I'm old.
Big spore mines.
Big
They're
spore
dropping.
mines. Big. That is a good mantra for the Tyranid community. Have big spore mine energy. Be the person who has big spore mine energy.
Be the big spore mine.
Cool. Flynn, what have you been up to?
Everything and nothing all at the same time.
Well, did you say
That's
everything and
basically-
nothing all
it's
at
just
once?
sum up. Yeah, so this week I've been just trying to, because my family's away, I've had this place to myself, so I'm able just to try and get like so much stuff sorted out. So like snipping down screws, sorting out like all the spray boxes, topping it down.
Flynn, your audio is
As
going
well-
wild.
As well as working on like big projects as well. So one of them being, which is may have seen by now, the getting the whole army of giants out for one big photo before the massive painting begins on them.
Ooh!
Which is going to take some time. And I've actually decided I'm going to be painting them from the first giant I converted all the way up to the most recent. So I go from like the sculpting improves on the giants. So I've been painting flex as that and going through the giants as well.
Is
And the
Flynn's
different
audio
skin
going wild
tones
for
and
anyone
everything
else, or is it just me?
Oh, it has been since we started.
Flynn, can you do anything about that or no?
No, I
Because
have
like
no
you'll
idea
sound
what to do in
normal
this
and then
thing.
you'll go like hyperspeed and we don't know what you're saying.
That just seems like me normally talking. To be
No,
honest
no,
with
no,
you.
like it's
No,
garbled.
no.
It's like tech garbled.
Uh,
It's definitely
in
not you
short,
talking.
Lots of giants, in short, lots of giants, lots of sprue snipping.
Yeah.
And I'm working on my last Maw Crusher to a Tyranids conversion. I've
How many is that
posted
now?
some photos in the synapse. Giants or
Maw
Maw
crushers to a
to
Tyranid. How many
Tyranids?
have you done?
This will be the third,
Okay.
dubbed the Charizard,
Oh my lord.
because the first one looks more like a Venusaur. The second one, with being the barbed Hydra, looks like has like the back cannons of a Blastoise.
Yeah.
And then the only other one has the Charizard. So this one has wings. As I said, I've put some photos in the Synapse 4.
Okay.
So you want to have a quick look. As well as I have worked on some other giants. And my brother has semi-commissioned me to do a giant for him.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cute.
nice.
So what I'm saying semi-commissioned is I'm doing it for him because I know he can't sculpt.
And he's definitely not going to pay you. That's why it's a semi-commission.
That's why I said it, because I want it done right.
Going to pay you in love.
He'll pay me in trips to Warhammer World, etc.
Oh, that works.
Nice.
That script
Which is a good
spends...
trade, I guess.
What? What was that, Simon?
I just said it's a good trade.
I think so.
Yeah.
Flynn, do you want to take a spin through the chat, see what's going on in there?
Yeah. Let me try and load it up. But while I'm
What have
loading up the
you
chat,
been up doing Jones?
Me? I've been up to very little, but when I've been up to Warhammering, I've been working on this little cutie, which I was just reflecting, Symbio, that you're the only person who like flows between the two streams. That I don't. Oh, maybe no. Kajan's probably been on the Creature Conference before, but only the Germans seem to flow between the Work in Progress Wednesday streams. We've got like a Goldilocks, not Goldilocks. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the one with the 3 bears? Is that Goldilocks?
Goldilocks.
Yeah.
That's Goldilocks.
Where like, you know, one stream is too early and one stream is too late, and then no stream is just right, except for if you're Symbio Joe, every stream is just right.
Not 100% of the time.
Because this stream
a
is
lot
too
of times.
early for North Americans, and then the Wednesday stream is too late for Europeans. But apparently you, and sometimes Kajan, it's just right all the time.
Well, I'm working Zinch hours. We already been through this.
Right.
But
So this is a Nikasar. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce them. It's a weird Xenos alien thing for what is Bill Ford's Instagram? Do you remember, Simon? I can't remember.
The Ruin 501.
Thank you. The Ruin 501, also known as the publisher of the Skulls magazine. He asked me to make him a. Whoa, Simon, your video's going weird. You got like a.
Sorry about that.
Stopped. I don't know what. Yeah, he asked me to make him like a weird Xenos model, and I like had an idea for a weird Xenos model, and he's like, actually, can you make a Nikasar? And I'm like, I don't really know what those things are supposed to look like. And then he found some cool art for it that makes it look kind of like an owl bear. So that's what I'm doing here with like a levitating owlberry thing with some cloak and shit. Got to figure out fur. Fur is a nuisance. But yeah, he's gonna be levitating. He's gonna have like some like cloak stuff dragging down behind him. He's got like a little hover pack thing that I'm building out for him. Yeah. So that's the what little hobby I've been working on lately. But I keep looking at these damn Tyranid pieces of terrain that I've wanted to make forever, and I'm like, I gotta get this stuff finished. This is a really old piece of Tyranid terrain that I sculpted around the time that we did the Cast Event Prime board, so like 2008, 2009. And this is honestly one of my all-time favorite things I've ever sculpted, and it's like the inside of a spore pod. So it should be on the board like this. And of course, one of the greatest things I feel like I've ever sculpted is something that no one's ever going to see. Which is disappointing, but whatever. I keep it on my desk and it makes me happy.
That's the way.
Yep. But I haven't been super hobby productive lately. There's been a lot going on at work and in life. So I've been distracted. But when I have time, I work on Bill's thing and try to get at other stuff. Thanks for asking.
Nice.
Oh, and I should say, because I didn't say at the beginning of the stream, the goal for this stream is to talk about the stuff that Games Workshop, the steaming pile of doo-doo that Games Workshop just dumped on Age of Sigmar players and anyone who likes to convert things out of Warcry models. And we will get to that, but first let's have a spin through the chat.
So there has been some discussions of the stream is buffering like crazy people.
Flynn, I can't hear what you're saying. There's been some discussions of what? Crazy people? Can you like restart your computer? Does that help? Because it's getting really bad.
I can restart. I'll be back in about 5-10 minutes.
Oh geez, okay. I didn't realize it was gonna take that long. But yeah, hopefully it helps because it's getting like we basically can't hear you.
Yeah.
Not
I
sure.
will try to jump in and see.
Well, we could ask. Maybe Symbio could handle. I don't know where what Symbio's doing right now. Do you want to?
yeah, I can do it.
Just a bit before though, there
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
Flynn, go
long
ahead.
chat saying about YouTube problems.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question because I got an error. YouTube is not receiving enough video. Wait. Let me call Nora. Tell her to stop watching Slaneshi content because that might be what's screwing us over.
I'm not 100% sure if it is that, because Hydra has some crazy glitches going on sometimes, and
Yeah.
your video is just loading sometimes.
Oh.
But
Discord.
the complaints from the chat are that YouTube itself is buffering a lot.
All right. Let me check in with Nora. All right. I didn't know if you guys could hear. I'm assuming you guys couldn't hear that. I turned off my mic, but sometimes my computer is a special thing.
We could hear that.
What? You
Could
bastards!
hear you, but not Nora.
Fuck. Could the internet hear me? Let's see. No, it's on my Samson mic. Okay, are you guys on the wrong mic? Let's see. Oh, it's on my default. Okay, now do I sound better? Now have I got
Oh,
some-
yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to
Hello there.
welcome to the show. Oh yeah. Hi, my name is Mr. Pink, and I'm gonna be doing some ASMR for you. Orphanage, turn off the stream now. Oh yeah. Orphanage hates ASMR. Hates it with a fiery passion.
Well, you can avoid it quite easily, I would say.
Well, not when I just like
What?
randomly whip
How?
it out.
Phrasing.
Missed that.
I
Go for it.
really like Tom Wilson's comment that Hydra's end boss is a apple picker.
Ah,
Oh yeah. Large arms. You're right.
awesome.
Straight from the top.
You should get that out for a game of apple picking with your kids and see what they say. They're probably young enough that they're
yeah.
just like cool and not like, oh, it's hideous.
Yeah, they will probably like it, but my wife wouldn't. And so I've been hiding those things in the basement.
Yeah.
What a very fitting place. Let's see what. Brad Evans was asking what Nick is working on.
So this is, I should just say formally, this is a piece of Tyrannid scenery. I had this, what I thought was a brilliant idea a long time ago, where I took a page out of the Book of Simon, where nothing can possibly ever go to waste. And I took the cardboard tubes that dog poop bags come on, and started trying to make scenery out of them, because I get so many of them from Ripley. And use them as like the basis for like different, they're basically armatures. They're not doing much, but they're cheap armatures that I can glue to bases and then sculpt onto. So that's what I'm doing here. You can see the white cardboard here is that's the poop roll bag, and I've kind of like squeezed it so that it's like squashed. And then I'm sculpting a kind of, I don't know, spore chimney, something tyranniforming terrain piece onto it, because I miss sculpting Tyrannid terrain. It's one of the most pleasurable things that I've ever made. But it's a lot of work. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to reuse these bags. And it's like, go do a buttload of sculpting.
Yeah, and Mr. Evans also notes that he tries to be a regular watcher of both the VIP Wednesday and the Creature Conference.
Yes, Diana and Tom Wilson also win that award of being some of the few watchers who move between both streams. I don't know if Electro Dust Bunny comes up on here as much as the other one. The Electro Dust Bunny's been showing up a lot. But Brett Evans definitely shows up. Radon also like shows up at a bunch of them, I think. We got a lot of... Moose Heist shows up at... I can't remember if Moose Heist shows up at both, but Moose Heist is a regular watcher. So thank you all for making the time and putting up with our nonsense.
A question from me for Simon, because my Game Master senses were tingling.
Yeah.
The fact that you stated that the final boss should not be survived, was that a joke, or are you really intending to play it that way?
I'm trying to, well, just in case someone is watching. The idea is that
Yeah, don't give it all away.
Sorry?
Don't give it all away in case someone's watching.
No.
Just to clarify my question, I'm very sure that you know your friends better than I do. My worry is such a challenge that ends a certain way can backfire on you, especially when people are getting very invested in their warbands.
Just to give it a little bit more juice without giving away too much. My idea is that at some point in the campaign, everyone has to make a choice on what side they're on, and both sides are absolutely fine. I see myself there as a joker, So I'm not making fun, but if there's an uneven number towards one end, I'm going to, join the other side.
Oh, so you're the wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you would expect, there's some eldritch things to be summoned, and this is not, no secret to anyone, I guess. And they quotation marks are trying to summon those things, and at some point in the campaign, the players can choose a side if they want to support this endeavor, or if they want to try to stop it and block it. And that should kind of be a little bit of role playing there.
Mhm.
And depending on this choice, in the end, it might happen that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we need to stop this," and they can have an influence on the last scenario. I'm going to tell them at the very beginning that they can have an impact, but I'm not going to say them how they can they can have an impact. And so they can decide for themselves if they want to, try to kill those things in the end or not. So there should be the absolute possibility that those things are unstoppable, or they are being stopped. And if everyone works together, then those things can probably be stopped. But I hope that they will, that the players will kind of split and try to busy themselves with each other instead of stopping the monster.
Yep.
And in the end, this whole thing is still a narrative hookup, so it's not the end of things. So there could be a follow-up scenario, campaign, weekend, whatever, narration.
Yeah.
Okay, that is context that lets me sleep more easier.
Well, the thing is that we played, me and my regular Frostgrave buddy Matthias. We played the Lich Lord campaign.
Yeah.
And in the end, we were so afraid of this of the big bad monster in the end that we teamed up to beat it. And suddenly this crazy monster was beaten to pulp within, I think, one turn. And that was very unsatisfying because it had so many rules and could do so many different things, and we just ran up, choked it with minis, and beat it. And that was that. I felt it was very unworthy end. There was no. I like the game Call of Cthulhu, where no, not Call of Death May Die from Cool Mini or Not.
Yep.
Where you are not sure if you're going to win the whole game until basically the very last turn.
Yeah.
If you can beat the monster or not. And
you don't have to survive. You can still die, and you can still win.
Yeah, and that's very, very cinematic. And I would love to try to transport some of this feeling to this setting, that you have this big bad monster in the end, and you are not sure yourself if you can survive it or not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair enough. Let's hope the pesky power of friendship does not foil your plans.
Well, we will see, and if it's so, that's absolutely fine. Because I'm there for the good, for the good fun, and I assume we will have it. And
the beauty of the game was the friends we made along the way.
Exactamundo.
Hello, Gideon Smith.
Ooh, nice name.
Says hello, Creature Conference cast. Welcome. I don't think we've seen you before, Gideon Smith. Good to have you on. Symbio, anything else going on in the chat?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think Flynn came back. Flynn?
Hello.
Hello. Well, you haven't been garbled yet. That's good. Which is probably famous last words, but you know.
My Discord completely crashed. That's why I had to disappear.
Well, now it sounds like it might be working. That's good.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh yes. Okay, now we're through the chat. If you feel like I have not read your comment that should be discussed, please repost it. And yeah, Games Workshop makes so little money with its fantasy range that it can do whatever it wants.
Thank you.
Oh shit.
So this was, I was going to jump off from Simon and his like Frostgrave and his like, he needs some NPCs. Simon, in your, I know you don't do as much pure Games Workshop stuff. You sometimes rip off their miniatures when you need it for something more miniature agnostic, because that's a lot of your focus these days. In your miniature agnostic hobbying, have you ever used Warcry miniatures? The those chaos like war bands that they made for Warcry?
Yeah.
I got some
Yes,
pictures of them up here on the screen. We got the Horns of Hashut, the Tarantulos Brood, Splintered Fang, the Unmade, Corvus Cabal, otherwise known as my special sexy friends, Cypher Lords, also known as the best source for samurai swords in Warhammer. These guys have amazing samurai swords. Scions of the Flame, Iron Golems, otherwise known as definitely not Chaos Dwarves. Spire Tyrants, I don't even really remember them. Untamed Beast, otherwise known as the best source for Kroot Tyranid weaponry. I love their weapons. And
You sent me some of those leftover bits, and
yeah, I sent you the bodies, right?
Yeah, and I used one of those bodies in my for my previous Frostgrave gang.
Oh, good. So, yes, Simon, in case you enjoyed those miniatures, and I know you and I have talked before about how cool it is to see Games Workshop do more kind of like random humans and like show what like different people worshiping chaos looks like.
Yeah, they're all being trashed.
They're all going in the dumpster. Because Games Workshop... Go ahead.
This is the most fucking stupid idea I can even think of.
Yeah, when I heard it, I thought the same thing, and I posted some angry stuff in my Instagram stories, and I got a lot of angry responses from people agreeing that the consensus is that the Warcry miniatures are some of the most beautiful, most interesting, most unique miniatures that Games Workshop has ever made. And some of these aren't even a year old. Like, I think the Tarantulos Brood, the Horns of Hashut, Scions of the Flame.
Someone said I have stuff in my fridge that's older.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So, oh man. And like, they're not, to be clear, they're not the only ones that they're getting rid of. Like, the first thing they do here is they basically show, like, okay, listen.
Yeah, if you go through the article, that's yeah.
Yeah, we'll go from the top. So this came out on April 4th, so it's not April Fools, even though they're fools. And what I love is they're like, hey, we're gonna get rid of some miniatures. Here's some really beautiful new photography that we just took of the miniatures that we're gonna get rid of. Like, don't show how cool these miniatures look and then be like, yeah, these are gone. Like,
like them, gone.
Yeah. So, like here, like look at these freaking cool unmade dudes. No, gone. Sorry. So it starts off with Stormcast Eternals, and like I joke about Space Marines being boring and I don't speak Space Marine, but like I have a vague idea of like Space Marine stuff. I have no idea about Stormcast Eternal stuff. Like I was looking at all this, I'm like, whoa, this looks like a lot of Stormcast Eternals. Like, holy toot. All these things they're getting rid of. And I swear some of these miniatures are recent. Like, I bought some of these because I wanted to convert them into Kroot things. Like this Master of the Sacrosanct on his like Griffin thing. He's pretty cool. I wanted to turn him into a bird boy. Oh no, wait, did I get him? I don't know. I got this Asteria Soulbright because I think it was like a push fit model that was cheap and I thought I could use it as a Kroot beast. And I definitely bought... Oh no, wait, I didn't get the Evocators. I got the other guys who ride around on Chocobos. But anyway, hold on. Yeah, I'm not going to miss any of these Stormcasts because I don't really pay any attention to them. Is anyone going to miss these Stormcasts? Does anyone think these are really cool models?
Some people are going to miss them in regards to the rules for them.
I
They're
don't
a bit
care
of a
about
big
rules.
army, and now it's all of a sudden. But it's imagine when the Nunes came out, it was you've got so many Termagants or so many Tyranid warriors, yeah, or lictors. Say goodbye to them. We're not doing those models anymore.
Which they should, like, to be fair, they should have done. Those Termagants are ancient. Like, get rid of them. I don't care. This is something I was reflecting on, that when the Tyranids came out, there was no article like this for Tyranids, where they're like, we're getting rid of everything.
But what I'm trying to say is with the Tyranids, it was, we've replaced the sculpt, so the model's still there. What's happened here is we're getting rid of these models completely because they don't fit the new aesthetic for the Stormcast Eternals that we're doing. Is the basic reason why they're doing it, because they've changed the Liberator's armor to be the new armor that they first introduced about 3 years ago with the Dominion box set.
The tall, skinny boys with the spears.
Exactly, and so
Which
all of these
good.
guys are the old sort of like big chunkier armor. So,
yeah, the squatty boys.
That's why they're getting rid of these. Yeah, that's why that's happening for these.
But aren't they just like replacing all these with new non-squatty versions of them?
Well, by the look of it, no.
What I found highly interesting in this article was that when you look at those Sigmarines, Stormcast Eternals, you can see how freaking boring they are, because you can really hardly tell them apart.
Agreed.
Which is nothing bad per se, but when you look at those, when you scroll down this page, at some point my eyes didn't make out any difference anymore, because they all look the freaking same. They have all the same pose, and they all look the same. And it's like GW just, as we know, does 3D sculpting. They don't bother anymore to kind of come up with interesting poses. They just slap on. They have this raw thing, and they just slap on different details and be like, "Oh yeah, good enough." Off to the printers with him.
Yeah. So when I was reading this article, they said something about like, oh, they've had to make all these war scrolls because they just keep adding new units to this army. I'm like, shouldn't they have done this to Marines? Like, shouldn't they have like Deep Six, the giant stack of Space Marine data
That
cards?
was my first thought after this reasoning. It was like, oh, you could have. Sounds a lot like Space Marines, doesn't it?
Yes, agreed. So
the fact is they've done that to Space Marines, but the issue people have is how recent these models are. None of these models are over 10 years old. They haven't been out for 10 years at all.
Well, that could be us learning that Games Workshop has a new approach to these things, that they're not going to refresh as quite as, or maybe they're not going to let like old school models that aren't active. Like we've got a huge pile of old models, probably because they were just like, well, let's not bother getting rid of that. Let's not bother updating it. Just leave it around and people can buy it if they want. Maybe they're not doing that anymore. I don't know.
Do you know the fact that I find hilarious about this is this happened a couple of months ago to Marines, but no one batted an eyelid.
It did?
Because Marines had
because they're boring. Because no one cares. No one cares.
But
Marines
snore. But that's the thing. Everyone's kicking up arms about this could happen to any faction now. This is the second time it's happened, and people are only kicking up about it because it's the whole picture for this in one go. There's two armies in one go.
Well, okay, but like they're about to release a buttload of new Stormcast dudes, so like they're probably gonna like not completely reboot these dudes, but like they're probably gonna have something that fills a similar hole in the list with their brand new shiny guys. Like for example, yeah, okay, these guys have come out in the last 10 years, but then let's scroll down to the Skaven, which have not had new models come out in the last 10 years, basically. And these are all ancient friggin' models, like ancient. So I think that they're probably going to have some new versions of these. Like this dude with the claw, he's kind of recent.
Yeah, they're in the trailer, right? When you talking about new AOS.
Yeah.
When you go up to this very first picture of the unmade,
Oh, yeah.
which they're throwing out. When you look at the bottom on the right, there's the hashtag.
No. New AOS is because they're doing the new edition.
Yeah, and they're promoting like the new edition with stuff they're not selling anymore. Like we throw these things out because they're old and no one cares anymore, and then we promote them with new edition. Well, that fucking doesn't make sense.
So it's this article is about the new edition of Age of Sigmar, and I think the link there is that they're like, there's not going to be rules for these anymore in the new edition of Age of Sigmar. But I take what you mean, that it's kind of weird that they're like, let's talk about the new edition. Here's some old models that we're getting rid of.
I thought this hilarious.
The fact is, they're actually giving people notice ahead of time. They're saying these aren't going out until 2025.
They said that?
It's in the top bit of the article. I missed it the first time reading it.
These will feature new background rules and will be considered legal use for in competitive play until summer 2020. Okay, legal for use in competitive play until summer 2025. They don't say that the models will be available until 2025.
Yeah.
Because when you get to the bottom, I think it's the bottom, they say like this stuff is gone. Like you not, was it? There was something in this article that says something about like you can't buy them. They're gone.
Yeah, they would normally edit that stuff out after the public outcry.
Gideon says, I found it so weird they are getting rid of new sculpts. I get it for the old Skaven Plague Priest, Lord Skrog, which is pushing 31 years of service. Oh, Jesus. Well, he was good enough for 31 years.
Wow. Here you go. Additionally, a number of older Warcry, Warhammer Underworlds warbands for Slaves of Darkness will go off sale and enter Legends. Yeah. Many more Underworlds warbands will remain on sale and will be supported only digital Legends War Scrolls in the next edition. Wait, a handful of units, mostly those using old resin miniatures, will also be retired from the range. What? Okay.
Hooray!
These are being retired for the range. These are going off sale. Does that not mean they're retired from the range? I don't really understand how.
So, retired from the range, what they've typically meant is they're going off from general sale. They will end up making reappearances like they've done with Space Marines, where it will be made to orders every so often, where you can get these special models like character models or something like that.
Yeah.
But typically, that's it. They're done. They've basically gone the way of, easiest way I can think of is like the Chaplain Dreadnought, really, or the Dinner Karen, really popular by people, but it's gone. It's no longer available. You've got Legends rules to play with it in casual games.
You can't buy it,
but you can't use it.
We're not going to print more of them.
We're not buying. No selling more of them. You can't buy any more. And in a competitive game, you can't use it. That's basically what's happened. So it's basically they've gone the way of the Karen.
Okay, I didn't care about the Karen. I don't care about Space Marines, but I care about these friggin' Warcry models. Okay, so
yeah,
the thing, the Sigmarines are gone. The ancient ass Skaven, like these guys are probably so small, like they're actually rat sized. They're gone. Like the newest, coolest models here are maybe this Arch Warlock and that Master Molder dude. Like everything else looks like old enough to buy a drink in Canada.
They are.
Bone Splitters, again, very old. Not, I'm never interested in orcs. But this Wergog Prophet dude, I feel like he's kind of recent. But I know this Hedraka's Mad Mob. I wanted to get these because that guy looks like Orc Wolverine. And that's like maybe 2 years old, maximum 3.
He's new. He was either a Warcry or an Underworld warband.
Underworlds, yeah. Underworlds.
Yeah. Werdag, he is actually from Warhammer Fantasy.
Oh, wow.
He is actually
old school.
Werdag. Yeah, he's an old school model. That's why.
Anyway, Bone Splitters, probably because they think that you can use... In the article, they're like, oh, what do they say? They're like, oh, there's so many different kinds of orcs you can use. There's, they say... Ooh, from the Iron Jaws to the Lanky Cruel Boys, the Orc war clans are as diverse as they are vicious. That's two kinds of orcs.
Yeah, Gorg and Morg.
Yeah.
Gork and Mork. Ooh, so diverse. So anyway,
I'm
Oh,
going
You
to
but
can
spoil that
paint
for you,
them in
Nick.
different colors.
Nick, I'm going to spoil that for you.
wait a
The
second.
reason why they've most likely done
Wait.
it is the old world.
Question. Savage Orc boys. Is the alternate build for them the ones with bows?
Yes.
Shit! Those bows are my favorite thing. I use them for Kroot. I use them to make Kroot guns into like they look like bowcasters or whatever. And I use those bows for homunculus coven conversions. Like the back bony growths coming out of their backs. I use the bows. Ugh. But fortunately, I bought way too many of them from Bits Order site, so I'm probably good for a while. But that sucks.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I suddenly care a lot more about these orcs.
That's why I like the fact that they're actually giving you a heads up in regards to it this time.
But they're not like Flynn. This stuff is already sold out. Don't say that it's a heads up because as soon as this article came out, I went on to like the like Canadian retailers I follow. They're all sold out. I called my local Games Workshop. They're like, we can't order these anymore. People went on the Games Workshop Canada website, sold out. Like I think Settle Newly from our Discord was on there like right away. So they're not giving you a heads up. They're giving you a heads up that you're screwed. They're like, hey, heads up, you're screwed. If you didn't buy these, well, too bad because you missed them. Like they're done.
I have to admit that this news is incredibly good.
Yeah, why is that, Simon?
It is.
I was waiting for your take because you are the one who like you are our noble monk on the mountaintop saying the young ones don't be taken in by the Games Workshop FOMO cycle. Just enjoy any miniatures. Play. You know, wait, shit. None of you guys has seen Reservation Dogs, have you?
Yes, I do.
No, you haven't seen Reservation Dogs. You've seen Reservoir Dogs.
Oh,
Reservation Dogs is the TV series about Indigenous people, Native Americans. Have you seen that?
Oh, okay. No.
Okay, there's this dude.
Right.
Okay, I just want to hold on. I'm gonna put something in the chat. You just need to go on YouTube and you just need to look up William Knife Man. Knife Man. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm doing it in the same thing. Great. Okay, now you're gonna see what I watch on Instagram. One thing. Knife Man. Oh god, William Knife Man. Where's the best William Knife Man supercut? It's 156. No, that's not good. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna give you this random William Knife Man. This is probably a good one. I'm gonna put this in the chat. You need to go and watch. I mean, maybe not now, but you need to go do it now. We'll be here in a minute. So Reservation Dogs is this really cool series that came out on God, I don't know what they're FX. Is that a thing in the United States? I don't know. It was on Disney Plus in Canada, and it's so good. But there's this spirit who appears to like these young Indigenous kids, and he like tries to like guide them. Simon is our William Knife Man. He's like the wise old monk sitting on top of the hill, and we're like, oh, Games Workshop took away our toys, and he's like, young ones, you weren't listening when he'd go, hey, shit ass, because that's what he calls this, what William Knifeman calls them in Reservation Dogs. Hey, shit ass, you weren't listening last time when I told you not to get caught in this Games Workshop hype cycle. You knew they were just going to screw you over. So I feel like Simon is above us and beyond us when it comes to this stuff. But anyway, I cut you off, Simon. What were you going to say?
No, I feel there's a certain liberation to the whole thing, because I feel there are certain bits that I've been seeing being used by so many different people that I like and adore. The Unmade, for example, those skull-like faces have been used over and over and over again.
Like the entirety of Inc. 28 community is just like fueled by Unmade.
Yeah, and it's such an easy thing to head swap something and turn it into something completely different. And now they are taking this from us. And I felt, of course, as soon as I got this message, of course, as it is my case, way too late. So this never was a heads up for me. I was like, oh Jesus, do I need to buy this box now? Because I could possibly use some of those bits in the future at some point, and I want them, and blah blah blah, and it could be all so easy, and all those excuses. And now knowing that you cannot buy them anymore is a massive liberation, because it takes away all this FOMO bullshit, because it's already gone. I cannot get it anymore.
Good point.
And it's gone. I can just look back and marvel at the things that people have done with it.
Oh.
And I cannot copy it, and I cannot repeat it, and it's just, yeah.
They're probably going to bring it back. It's Games Workshop. They're going to do like,
they don't.
made to order. Buy 1,000 of these because you can't get them anymore.
No, they don't, because it's a plastic sprue. And they're just trashing the whole thing. They're not going back and saying, "Hey, you can buy it again."
They've done that for some plastic, like they did that for the like starter sets where they did like Battle for McCraig made to order.
I'm going to say, Simon, I see your point, and I raise you the old world, where they are bringing back so many old plastic kits.
But Flynn,
are you sure that they didn't have them still lying?
Yeah,
in the
good
warehouse
question.
somewhere?
Good question. We don't know that.
They
Flynn,
will keep all of these lying around, so they can bring them back later and do a made to order.
Flynn, I see what you're saying. I think what I'm talking about is a little bit different. Old World is like a big deal, like started from scratch. We're bringing this back, huge release. Whereas the made to orders are kind of a one-off thing. And like Simon has a point that usually the one-off made to orders are like, you can get these metal miniatures. Old World would be like a big like re-release. I don't know if that quite equates to it's not the same level as the made to orders, but
no, there's stuff they've put into made to order before has come back for the Old World, or it's in the army book to make a return in Old World when they get around to doing that faction. So that's what I'm waiting for, because they've traditionally just done like characters and heroes, but they have brought some of those already. They've already got some of those on their way back. So it's just a bit of a waiting.
Old World survives. I was in my friendly local gaming store, and the guy was talking about Old World, the guy who runs the store. I'm like, has that been much of a draw for you guys? Like, are people coming in and buying Old World? He's like, well, some people bought it on like the launch weekend, but otherwise no one's really been interested. So it'd be funny if Old World died again because no one was buying it.
Old World is a fan service.
What's that?
Old World is a fan service. They have produced the book. They will feed the boxes to the people who are interested in those things, and that's going to be it. They're not putting any money in there because it's old. All the people I know who have been into, or there are some people who are playing that I know, and they have been into the whole thing because it was their childhood thing.
Yeah,
but it's not going anywhere in the future. Excuse me.
It could, but I would be shocked if they actually supported it.
That is different from what I've heard from sources. There is actually meant to be there's additions already planned out for the Old World as soon as they get to releasing all the factions. The reason why it hasn't taken so
if it sells.
No, they will probably have prepared Wave 2 and Wave 3.
Yeah, it's selling. It's already selling for them because they are selling out on the weekends. By about 11 o'clock every Saturday morning, once they've released a faction, they have sold out of that faction.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's good, Flynn. Like Games Workshop is really good at selling out things. Like they're excellent at it. They could be making a small number.
But this is exactly what Games Workshop is aiming for.
Yeah.
They're not aiming for keeping stock in the shops. They are aiming for selling out as quick as possible.
And if it is selling out for them, that's a money maker. They will continue to do it.
Flynn, what I'm trying to say is if something sells out, that doesn't mean it's a money maker. Like, it can make money that weekend. Like, they can produce 100 units and sell out of 100. I am exaggerating. They could produce 100 units. They could sell out of 100 units. That doesn't mean that it's profitable. Like, a money maker is Space Marines because they keep selling. Like, they sit on the shelves and people just keep coming in and buying them. You can sell out of all the Old World stuff on one weekend. And if you had more Old World stock on weekend too, but it doesn't sell, it's not a money maker.
I I understand the point. I've just seen it that they have actually been making money from the old world stuff.
You
like
don't
big
know. Okay,
boxes
so
that
here's
they
the
make-
thing: we don't know how much it costs, so we don't know if they're making money. They're selling miniatures, but we don't know if they're recouping their initial investment. You know what I mean?
But for the old world, I think they are, because when you look at how much old stuff they are selling, which when you look at the Camry stuff, for example,
Yeah.
what they had to invest in was the rule making.
Couple of new miniatures.
Sorry,
Couple of new miniatures. They made a
a
couple
couple
of new ones.
a couple of new miniatures perfection, but there's a lot of old stuff they just reuse.
True.
When you look at the rules, they reuse the old rules. They have tweaked and changed them, and they surely have tasked someone who can do that, which always comes at a price. You cannot, give this task to I don't know, ChatGPT, but
Well, you probably can actually, but okay, more on that later.
no, ChatGPT is not very good at writing tabletop rules. I tried that.
No, I meant like taking an old rule book and like modern. I don't know. Yeah, okay, good point.
But what they had to invest in the whole thing so far has been, compared to the hype and the whole turnaround, comparatively low.
Theoretically.
So I don't see where something is not working out for them.
Okay. So that's old world. But yeah, one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this was just primarily because of the Warcry models. I've kind of mentioned it a bit, but I fully feel like these are some of the newest, most interesting ideas that Games Workshop has come out with in the last few years. Like wholly different from the like you get down to the bottom here and you get like the Spire Tyrants and Kagra's Ravagers. They're kind of like your standard Chaos Warrior look.
Yeah.
And like Untamed Beasts, okay, Barbarians. Iron Golems, there's a little bit of Chaos Space Marine in there, I guess. Scions in the Flame, getting different, getting new. Corvus Cabal, that's pretty
That
brilliant.
was a blast.
Yeah. And like Cypher Lords, like, I think that was pretty unique.
Do the obsidian dudes get thrown out as well?
They are still alive. They have not been cut yet.
Weird.
The obsidian dudes, I don't know. I'm surprised that they sell. I don't feel like they're that good.
Yeah.
They're not that interesting.
Probably the rules.
Maybe. Yeah, and like Splintered Fang was cool. Like, and it was cool that these all had like a strong theme. Like Corvus was like the strong like Raven Crow theme. Unmade was like creepy skull boys with slashy bits. Tarantulos is like this whole like spider thing, which was really neat. I think Horns of Hashut is like kind of humans doing Chaos Dwarf stuff.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just sad that they went there. I guess like the one thing that I was reflecting on when I was thinking about this and like randomly messaging with people, this is a lot of very unique stuff within one like limited range, Chaos. So maybe they kind of like blew their load. They kind of went overboard, investing so much. I don't think
so.
What's that?
I don't think so. I think they throw those out because it is more expensive. Well, they're doing just financial decisions. So they are throwing those things out that don't sell anymore in relation to what it costs to produce them, and have them keep them in stock, because keeping stuff in stock is very expensive. So what they do is they throw out what doesn't sell anymore, and will replace it with new stuff, because they know they need to throw out new stuff. And if you are a player of this game, you probably have those warbands that you want by now, and they just rotate them out, and then you will get the next waves of stuff. When you follow Nikki Grillet, you see how long it has been since she worked on things. And they are being released just right now. And so I think GW has stuff for what is going to happen in 3 years figured out by now.
Oh yeah.
So
Simon, your video's
that
going
means-
haywire. I don't know if
Yeah,
you're
I
working
know.
on stuff anymore. Should I just turn it off or?
yeah, just shut it off.
Okay.
So I think they will just have they will have the next 10 warbands already ready. Well, not completely done, but they will have them in the pipe somewhere. And just keep people feeding new stuff. So I don't see with those warbands going out the whole idea to die, which is I also think proven in the fact that they keep other warbands, for example, this Obsidian, stone carrier dudes.
Yeah.
They keep them, and they will keep using the game system.
It's also not the first time these warbands have gone off sale.
Well, one thing that people have noted about these is that Games Workshop did a kind of weird thing where these came out as warbands for Warcry, and then once they'd been out as warbands for Warcry for a while, they took in Warcry you get like 10 miniatures in a box.
Yeah.
Then what they did is they took the sprue for the 10 miniatures, they doubled it to 20 miniatures, they chucked them in Age of Sigmar boxes, and then they were like, hey, look, you got these new Chaos dudes to be your like random Chaos rank and file dudes in your Slaves to Darkness Chaos army.
They did?
They did, yeah. So this is an article about Age of Sigmar. So it could be the case that they're getting rid of the Age of Sigmar boxes that have 20 of these guys in them, and that they're still going to be available for Warcry in 10s, but nowhere has Games Workshop said that. Someone asked it on Twitter, and the person who was running the Games Workshop account that day actually replied to them and said, we'll take this question away from you for you and see if we can get an answer, but who knows? It's a slim hope.
I don't think so.
So they might come back in a different incarnation, but yeah, as Simon says, I don't think so. We'll see. But funny that you should mention Nikki, because I actually joked with Nikki that she's partially responsible for these things going away, because in the article they say with the arrival of the Dark Oath, the Slaves of Darkness have found their definitive mortal followers. This means that a number of warbands representing the wider worshippers of chaos in the mortal realms will be retiring from the spotlight and the range. It mostly involves warbands in the previous edition of Warcry, as well as Karga's Way Ravagers from Warhammer Underworlds, but they'll all get Legends War Scrolls. So Nikki helped design the new Dark Oath dudes. So I was like, hey, Nikki, how does it feel to be partially responsible for getting rid of Warcry? And she's like, I feel bad, man. These are some damn cool designs.
Yeah.
It was not actually Nikki's fault, but I laughed.
Yeah. But
What's the chat saying? Flynn, can you have a look at the chat, see what people are saying about this?
Gideon Smith is saying Obsidian. Do you mean Jade Obelisk?
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
I thought the same.
It also says, I think you're hitting a nail in the head, Mr. Pig. Getting these kits out of production will make rebalancing for fourth easy as a question.
Yeah, so like, okay, so this is another thing that I wanted to talk about. Games Workshop, I don't know if it's like Chapter House knock-on stuff or what, but Simon, do you just want to turn your camera off? I'm getting like kind of weird vibes from this thing flickering in the corner.
Of course.
So Games Workshop's done this thing, I don't know if it's because of Chapter House, where like if you don't have rules, what is the thing? The rules only reflect the actual models that they create. Like rarely do they have a model or a rule for something that you have to convert yourself. And it's led me to wonder if they feel like they can't have miniatures that don't have rules for them. Like, when they're getting rid of these, it sounds like they had different, I don't know Age of Sigmar. It sounds like they had different war scrolls for all of these, like different war bands. Within Slaves to Darkness, is that the case? Does anyone know? Chat, if anyone knows stuff about Age of Sigmar. But if that's the case, yeah,
able to play them as different. You were able to take them as their. The words aren't coming, but they basically you could take them as their warband in an Age of Sigmar game as part of
Slaves to Darkness,
Chaos Army, similar to how they did with the Galapox Infested from the Rogue Trader box set.
did they
Using them
have
with Nergal
bespoke
Army.
rules, is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, they made specific rules for them.
Okay, so that's the problem I see here. That why do we need to have bespoke rules for them? Can't they just be like, hey, look, cool Chaos Warriors. You want to do spider-themed Chaos Warriors? Here's your guys. You want to do snake-themed Chaos Warriors? Here's your guys. Do they have special rules? No, that guy's an exalted champion. That guy has a whatever relic blade. I don't know. And just like leave them around.
That
Three
would
words
be,
for you.
What?
that would
three
be
words for
way
you.
too miniature agnostic for Games Workshop.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, I want more miniature agnostic. I want more. We made a bunch of cool miniatures. Use what you want.
Yeah, but
Wow.
that never was GW's case.
Right. Flynn, what'd you say?
I've got three words.
GW's sorry, but GW's like Apple. If we don't have built a button for you to press, you are not allowed to ask for it.
Yeah. Okay. See what you mean. Flynn, what were you saying?
The old world.
What about it?
Basically, because what's going to happen is you're going to have Chaos Warrior, you're going to have Warriors of Chaos come back for the old world. Most likely one of the last factions, and you will have Chaos Marauders. They don't want people to be doubling up on
Aren't
both
Dark
armies.
Oath just like Chaos Marauders? Like, aren't they just like prettier, newer Chaos Marauders? Like, I bought some Marauders. Those are some
Exactly.
rough ass models.
Exactly. That's exactly why they don't want people to do it. Because I had an idea of doing a Chaos Marauders for Age Sigmar and Fantasy as the Warcry box sets, because they would be so cool as a warband, because they've got so much more character to it,
I like
rather
it.
than I look like a Viking who's angry.
What?
The Chaos Marauders basically look like Viking barbarians,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
the old ones. So, and these ones would just be like so much cooler to have those as a fantasy thing. And it's now you can't do it because they would have been better models. And they don't want people to double up. That's why Skaven, Vampire Counts, Lizard Men, they weren't coming back for the old world, because they've got a proper army in Age of Sigmar. They don't want people doubling up their
Oh, that's
armies.
interesting. I didn't think about that. But like orcs have a proper army in it. Oh. You mean
But they
that
brought
they're
back the
putting
old
Iron
models.
Jaws or whatever the heck they're called. They're putting Cruel Boys in Age of Sigmar, and then old school greenskin orcs are bumped back to Old World.
Exactly.
Oh, that's fucking insidious. I didn't realize that. Holy toot.
Another way to fuel the old world, right?
Weird.
Yeah.
So okay, we didn't get there yet, but like I felt most angry about Warcry. I felt second most angry about Beasts of Chaos, otherwise known as Beastmen.
Yeah.
Because this
Yeah.
dude right here, isn't he less than a year old?
Yep. I know which one you're referring to.
The Beast of
And
Chaos
those-
Beast Lord.
And the Angor box is amazing.
Oh, but it's ancient.
Or
right?
no,
Oh,
they
yeah,
they
so-
did a refresh at some
Okay.
point. And those arms, those weapon arms are gold because they are so well proportioned.
Oh,
You
good.
can use them for guardsmen easily, and they will work.
I didn't know that. 'Cause I'm
I
not
have
familiar.
bought one of those boxes plainly for the arms.
Oh, okay. And like endless, like this Herdstone, didn't that come out recently? The spells, I
No,
can't
that
remember
hasn't
when.
been out for a while.
Okay, the Gores are
The
still
spells and the
cute. I
Hudson
still
have
think
been
they're
out for a
cute.
while.
Oh, but the Bull Gores, throw them into the sun, man. Terrible. Let's not talk about them ever again. These
Yeah.
warhounds actually look better than the current wolves. I mean, they're not amazing, but who doesn't need a dragon ogre in their life? How cool is that?
And
Cygor
that model was so
Gorgon.
classic.
What, Flynn?
The dragon. Oh no, you're the normal dragon ogres. I'm the Shagoth. It's such a classic model.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, we
Yeah,
haven't gotten there yet. Wait. So Beast Lord with paired rippers. I don't know why, but I really like this model. I think he's cool. Flynn is gonna die because gonna cry because he's losing another giant, albeit a weird beast one.
I already have them.
Okay, cool. Centigores, whatever. Chariot, whatever. Jabber Slave? Friggin' Jabber Slave? This is a model I didn't realize existed, and I should have bought one because it's weird and wonderful, but now it's gone. Look at those cool wings.
I
Doombill.
think he's still available.
Hideous. Beasts of Chaos Cockatrice. That's a cool model. Shagoth, the best model. I need a new Shagoth. They better be making a new Dragon Ogre Shag. Oh, someone made one, didn't they? They took like that new Chaos Lord on a dinosaur, and they made a Shagoth, and it looked good. I remember seeing that. Anyway, Beasts of Chaos are amazing. So does this mean that Beasts of Chaos are going back? Wait, did they say back to the old world or no?
They have said they are going back to the old world. So it says
Beasts
it right
of Chaos
there.
are leaving
Chaos...
Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but they'll be back in the future, or rather in the past. Okay, yeah. Old feeding grounds in the world of legend, Warhammer Old. Okay, so that's cool. So they're still going to stick around, just over there. But it probably means they'll dump a lot of these miniatures and not bring them back.
Oh no, most of them are coming back.
Well, we'll see.
They
Others.
are in the rulebook.
Yeah, Simon?
I'm not deep into Age of Sigmar,
Dude,
but
me neither.
from looking at them, they still look like the models used for the fantasy army. So they never had a real rebrand for Age of Sigmar.
No.
So I assume they will just relabel the boxes at some point and feed them to the people as the new release.
Yeah.
For the old world.
I think you're right. Interesting. I don't care about Old World, so I missed the part where it's like they're dividing the range. And like because Skaven are getting new models, they can't be old models. That's really interesting. It's like Patronians, old models. Khemri, old models. Interesting.
Skaven are going.
Isn't there chaos? Isn't there chaos in Old World?
So I know you originally didn't care that much about it. So the way they've set the old world, they've set it 300 years before the end time. So they've set it in there. So the Skaven are building up their numbers again. So that's why they're not there. They're hidden completely in the underworld. The vampires have just been defeated in the Vampire Wars, so that's why there's basically none of them.
Which is a weird sentence in itself, right? Vampires have been defeated.
Yeah, you're immortal, but you're dead.
How did that happen?
There's story for it. I don't know the full story.
Let's not go there.
Probably Nagash pooped, and suddenly all of them were snuffed out.
Yeah. Lizard men are in Lustria, solely in Lustria. They in the New World. They haven't. They're not in like the Southlands, so that's why they're not there. The Ogre Kingdoms, they haven't come across the World Edge Mountains yet on the Badlands. There's only a few ogres that are there. That's why the ogres aren't there. So any army that is actually fully developed in the Age of Sigmar is not coming over. That is why you've got like beastmen who are like, well, they're in the Dragonhole Forest, which is basically the center point where everything is happening in this time frame, and they're still active at the time frame.
Yeah.
So they can bring them over. The only downside to it is they initially said like, oh, we're going to have Kislev and Cathay, and they showed the development of it. And they're like now going, yeah, there's no plans for these in the immediate future, which is annoying.
Except for the plans you already showed us, you jerkbags.
Yeah, which were the exact same designs from the Total Warhammer 3 game. So
You know
My
what I
tinfoil
find
hat theory
highly
back then was
amusing?
kind of correct.
Sorry, Simon.
Yeah, what I find highly amusing is that people are so dependent on what GW makes.
Yeah.
For example, my Frostgrave thing here, one
Yeah.
of the players has just printed out a Kislev army. No, well, Kislev warband, but he just took from existing 3D printable files that look surprisingly like Kislev, like the Kislev army. You know, miniatures, and made a warband with them. And it is what I find so interesting is that there's certain miniatures that don't have kind of a lobby within the 3D community.
Yeah.
But if they have a lobby, for example, like the Kislev, you just can go and ask your friend with a printer to print out a stupid army for no money.
It's not no
You can
money.
play them as whatever you want.
Not
But
that cheap, but yeah.
Sorry, but it's still stuck in our head that you have to have the special rules for it to be official, to play it, whatever.
Yeah.
And this is always kind of bewildering me.
Yeah, like Cities of Sigmar. Cities of Sigmar, just print out some Kislev guys. Congratulations. Kislev Cities
Yeah.
of Sigmar. But yeah, some folks are like, but there's no rules. I can't tell you how confused I get when I convert something really weird and like awesome, and someone's reaction is like, it's cool, but like it doesn't have any rules. What are you going to use for the rules? I'm like, whatever you want. Just use it as count as something else. Who cares?
Yep. I always found it with the Tyranids, I always found it like creative challenging to build something that had rules, but to make it look differently.
Agreed.
For
That's
example,
how I do it. I'm like, this is going to count as a Ravner. It doesn't look anything
Yeah.
like a Ravner, but that's the rules I'm going to use.
Yeah. And I think it always gives you an idea of where to go and how it should function in a game, or how it should, look like, or whatever. But you can liberate yourself so easily to say, well, I'm going to use this for whatever.
Liberate
And-
yourself. I like that.
And don't start with I cannot use them at GW tournaments or whatever events.
Yeah, because
I
they
think
barely
this is the
exist.
most-
Like, unless you live near Warhammer World, like, where are you going to a Games Workshop tournament?
Yeah.
I guess they're kind of coming back now. They're kind of like trying to like retake over like the tournament scene. I don't know.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they've partnered with ITC. I'm not the guy to talk about this because I'm not sweaty tier, but the International Tournament whatever committee. There was some article in Warhammer World where like Games Workshop is like getting into like officially sponsoring them. So it'll be interesting to see like if that like means that at these tournaments you're not allowed to like print anything anymore. Something.
Yeah.
I think printing is even allowed. They don't forbid printing. If you look at the Golden Demon, they were
Demon's different.
Yeah, that's different.
Nah.
Golden Demon is different.
I'm not sure.
They've
about-
actually they've actually put rules in for if you turn up to a tournament and you have converted models, you need to get permission before you turn up.
Yeah,
to
I
use those
posted. Okay, so listen, being the guy who like posted that and tried to like stir shit about that rule being in the tournament packet, I since spoke to a bunch of people who actually play in tournaments. I do not. And they're like, yeah, I convert miniatures all the time. I've never had to do this. So I think it's just there in case they need it. Like in case someone shows up with something that's clearly like sketchy, and then they go and tap the sign and they're like, oh, we have this rule. Didn't you know about this rule? But otherwise, I don't think they really use it.
It's mainly there for people who are proxying models, basically, where they there's a guy who basically did a I'm trying to remember it, but it's basically these Jacaros, the basically mechanical monkeys.
Yeah.
The orangutans, and it basically did an Adaptus Mechanicus army of them. And it was just like no
Sounds like
one
fun.
who would look at it looked amazing, But if you were to play against that person, I'd be like, I have no idea what any of your guys are or what they're meant to be because there is no reference.
Listen, I play a Space Marine player. I don't know what any of his guys are or what they're meant to be, other than
Yeah.
that guy's a Terminator and that guy's got a bolter. Like all these like Primaris whatevers. If I played against those guys, he'd have to explain to me what each one of them did, and I just accept it.
But you can then go to but Nick, you can go to the Games Workshop website and say, okay, what is this unit he's saying? Hang on a minute. That doesn't look like the weapon they're meant to have in the pictures from what they've got on the website.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
That's why
I don't care enough.
Oh, I get it, but it's just like if you want to have that reference, you've got to have something where there, and that's why they brought that rule in.
Okay.
It's a whole thing of you've got to draw the line. I know what you're saying, Simon, about the whole 3D printing for Golden Demon, but that is different because it is you have to have made it yourself. You've had to print it yourself.
Yeah,
It cannot be
the
made
rule
commercially
is
available.
yeah, you
after
need
the
to.
event.
It's not something you're selling. It's like it's something weird. Like you have to have sculpted it purely for this competition, or like you can have commissioned it from a sculptor, but only for this competition. But like I don't know, that's weird. Like, how are they gonna ever enforce that?
Let me put it differently. They had to accept the fact that people will use 3D printed stuff, and it's simply impossible to keep up with all the different things that are available. So they had to kind of make up a ruling that would put them in a place where they kind of accept it.
Seem like they're in control.
Yeah, make them look on the outside like they're in control. For example, I think back in the days when I was there, it was pretty much the same, that we were kind of discussing over bits being used. And we're like, oh yeah, like at some point someone said to me from a higher level of authority in the company that they told me that they value my insights in the Golden Demon so much because at that time I was looking over the border already, and I knew so many other companies that they said, well, you know so many other companies, it's good that you know those, that you can recognize those things.
So you could be the rat?
Yeah, and I can be the rat, and I can say, ooh, yeah, look at that sword being used there. That sword definitely is Rackham. Now,
Simon, we're so glad that you know other people's miniatures so well, because we don't know our own miniatures at all and can't spot this shit.
Well, I was within the company, and therefore, but I think this is something similar where they have to acknowledge the point that they cannot control everything, but they have to find a ruling where they can pretend.
Joe, are you still here? Symbio Joe, are you here, buddy?
Oh, yes, yes. Hello.
How do you feel about these miniatures going out of the line?
Oh, well, my opinion changed a little bit over the course of you all discussing it. I think I stick with my opening statement that Games Workshop has so little to worry about financially that they can fool around in this way. And 40k is still the big money maker.
Like they don't need to worry about pissing anyone off because they're clearly making hand over fist money.
Yeah, and what else changed with Warcry is that the starter boxes got significantly smaller.
Yeah,
and we put out a big starter box with loads of terrain and 2 warbands. Obviously does not work anymore.
Well, I think that's kind of cool. Like I kind of like that what they've moved to now is we're going to give you
I'm just discussing fact. It is not that I'm lamenting anything.
Okay.
The only thing I feel really bad for is the people that feel the necessity, and I talked with Gideon a little bit in the chat about that the Beastman players have to rebase their army to make it fit for rank and flank, and you now might just have over the time a person that started out with the old world had to rebase for Age of Sigmar and
Yeah.
has now to rebase back for the old world.
Oh no! Oh
Hopefully, they're the
no!
optimistic person.
Huh?
Yeah, but there are
Yeah.
easy solutions to that. I am
Reprints.
a little bit sad about some of the Warcry stuff being phased out because it was very fitting for Hero Quest, and
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I am now missing
Quester.
out on these. But as slow moving as my Hero Quest party is, they will be brought back, I guess, in time.
Nice.
Also, yeah, it is interesting because the aforementioned similarity by Flynnhammer with the Space Marines and the Stormcast. For the Space Marines, it was pretty spot on what is going to happen. At some point, everybody was certain, okay, old Firstborn are getting phased out.
Yeah.
They're not coming back. We're gonna have Primaris, and it was done very, very slow. And I think it was done slow because, well, Space
Angry
Marines
Marine
sell,
boys.
and they still sell, and
Yeah.
everybody got their chance to get their Firstborn, and we now have this miniature rotation where Firstborn can come back, and so on and so forth. It feels a bit quicker and more hasty with the Stormcast, or I have no looks into the numbers.
But they might not have been selling. Like, that's the good point. And this is the thing. Like, we can get as mad as we want about Warcry, but the reality is I haven't bought all of these gangs. Like, when I go, maybe it was a cost thing, but like when like cool Necromunda stuff came out, I would just buy a gang. I'd be like, $35? No problem. $40? Yeah, this is cool. But I didn't do that with as many of the Warcry gangs. So maybe it's my fault that they're going out because I didn't buy them. I just looked at them, thought those would be cool to convert with someday. Maybe I'll get them, and then I didn't get them.
Of course, it is your fault.
Yes.
Yes. You should buy. And if you don't buy, we will get rid of them. So buy.
But it's also my fault because I'm very much in the same boat. I loved every one of those sculpts and didn't buy one of them.
Yeah. Only ourselves to blame. Vote with your money. If you want it, buy it. If you didn't buy it, well, and it's gone, well, they're just trying to make money, so can't complain.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
What? Back in my day.
Battlestone Fortress.
Blackstone Fortress?
Blackstone Fortress, because what was released that hardly anybody actually bought, and because we thought it's going to be around for a while.
Zote! Amble!
Exactly.
Yeah, so I didn't make that mistake. As soon as that Zote came out, I bought it. I was like, they made a Zote, it's mine.
Yeah, but so many didn't.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they were gone within a month of their being sold.
Bastards. That was also COVID,
And
so
then
who
that's
knows what happened there.
Oh no, they were not selling. I have had it from staff that it was not selling.
Tyranid people, you should have gotten out and got your Zotes. Damn it.
No, but it was all of the other ones beforehand. That's why everything was just like, yep, gone. Bye. And that's why Curse City wasn't as widely manufactured. They thought it was going to go the same way.
Right.
And this is Flynn hat territory, but this is what I've actually heard from sources that don't want to get in trouble. But basically, if you want to get a model and you like the look of it when it comes out, get it when it comes out. Maybe go to a third party while it is still being sold in stores. So you get a discount on it.
You can wait a couple of months. You don't need to like get it on pre-order. Like I've had to learn that like I don't need to buy things on pre-order. I can wait a couple of months, but
if it's something that it looks to be like it's going to be limited, that's when you do it. That's when you grab it straight away. If it's going to be something like the Horus Heresy Mark 6 Assault Marines that people waited ages for to come out, you know they're going to be around for a while, so you can take your time to get them. If it's something like a limited edition book grab it if you want it. If you don't want it, don't grab it.
Oh yeah, like when that Xenology book came out, I'm like, I'm pre-ordering that. And did it ever make it onto shelves? They were like, this will be released later. Did it ever?
So it was sold out.
You know
online.
what?
What?
Most likely was made available at Warcry World.
Oh, Simon?
They want you to buy it without thinking.
You're right. This is Simon. This is where you're going back to be William Knife Man. You're like, don't get into
This
their
is-
FOMO.
I recently did a podcast with my friend, with two of my friends, who one of them is a psychologist, and he dug into
Was it German Guillermo del Toro?
Sorry,
Was it your friend German Guillermo del Toro?
sort of, yeah.
Your one buddy who I swear looks like a German version of Guillermo del Toro. One day I'll meet him. One day I'll meet that guy. Sorry, go ahead.
So this will be released at some point, but it is really interesting because he kind of described why we are like that, and I have my own theory, but it is designed that you buy stuff that you don't need the moment you see it, because it is created, it is designed that you have to fear that you're not going to be able to buy it at a later point.
Yep.
And this is something that is stuck so deep in our instinct. It's not a rational thing.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they have designed their whole damn it,
like marketing strategy.
Yeah, the whole marketing strategy to avoid your consciousness. You shall not make a conscious decision in this. You have to press the button without thinking about it. That's what they design. And this is what, as much as I like certain things from GW, this is basically the reason that I'm not getting it, because I feel pushed. I feel they force me. This is not my decision anymore. This is their decision, and this bothers me massive.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It was when they did this originally. The first time they ever did this was with the Forge World, like Demon Kings. Well, they used to be called Demon Lords. So it was like the big, like this Slanesh, Siege, all those really big Forge World ones, and they announced, "Oh yeah, we're not going to be selling these anymore." I think within a few minutes of that going up, they all sold out.
Yeah,
and it was like that was it. That was the Warhammer Forge and the Age of Sigmar section of the Forge World website gone, because that was all of it sold out.
yeah. And they thought, oh, that
And
was
they
easy.
realized
Let's
it
do
worked.
that again.
Exactly that.
Anyway, I think we should probably call this soon. It's getting a little late, but thanks for discussing this stuff, guys. This is a spirited discussion. I didn't know how long we could talk about it, but I'm glad we did. If you're watching this stream after the fact, please leave us a comment on the stream and let us know how you feel about the stuff going out of the line, and whether you're actually like an Age of Sigmar player and you're sad about it, or you're someone like me who never touches Age of Sigmar, never touches fantasy, but really love these things for 40k or Necromunda or whatever conversions. Let us know, because I've said it many times in the past, and I'll say it again. One of the most interesting things that I've seen come out of Games Workshop in recent years is Underworld's Warcry Necromunda, because they are venues where Games Workshop can explore weird and different miniatures than what they would normally do, and just like put them out, and if people want them, they can buy like one box of them. It's not like a whole army release. So I love that they were doing that, and I'm a bit worried now that this might be them moving away from that, but I don't know. I've been confused for a long time about why we need Underworlds and Warcry. Like, shouldn't Underworlds just be rolled into Warcry? Because everyone talks about how good Warcry is. But now people are worried they're going to be getting rid of Warcry because they're getting rid of all these war bands, so who knows what's going on. Anyway, yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I swear to God, sometimes I release videos that aren't just streams, but we do a lot of streaming. We do streaming every week, at least one stream. So we do them on Fridays, and then the opposite weeks we do them on Wednesdays. So the next one will be, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream this week, but it should be Wednesday, April 9th at a more North American friendly time. It usually starts about this time rather than finishing at this time. But yeah, we just talk about all kinds of stuff. We do a lot of stuff on sculpting because Simon's a big sculptor. I'm a big sculptor. Flynn's a big sculptor. We got a lot of sculptors. Yeah, or just like general hobby stuff. So if this is your first stream, weird one to start with because of the crappy technical difficulties at the front, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed my conversations with you, Flynnhammer, and Simon and Joe.
Yeah.
So thank you all for joining. Joe, thank you especially for jumping in at the last minute.
There have to be enough Germans here.
We need German quorum. Like on Work in Progress Wednesday, German quorum is 1 German, and on Creature Conference Friday, it's 2 Germans. So thank you for helping us meet quorum, Joe. But I enjoy your company for a lot more reasons than just reaching German quorum, to make that clear.
Not sure about that.
Hey, that's bullshit, buddy. You know it. Yeah, and thank you to everyone in the chat. I see Gideon has been super active. Gideon, have you been on a stream before with us? I feel like this might be your first. If so, Mazel Tov! Welcome to the stream. Oh, and like my stuff, I did some kind of detailing work on these Tyranid sport chimneys. This one I'm really happy with. This one here, it needs some shaping work, but I'm kind of getting there.
What's your plan? Do you want to cast them?
I thought about it. I was going to talk to some good friends of mine who know some stuff about casting, and I thought maybe I should try that and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Why are you offering, Mr. Cast Master 9000?
Well, we could work something out
for
sure.
Oh, really? Cool. Okay, glad you're up for it.
I've got 2 things I just want to say. There's 2 hobby happenings right now. Friends of the Creature Conference, Frankendoodle on Instagram, has been doing the voting now for the Retro Hammer 40k.
Don't do voting.
Don't.
Oh, it's such a. Oh, I cringe whenever people do voting. Like, it's not a popularity contest. Get people to judge it who know. Whatever. Okay.
That's why I'm just saying, vote for who you want. But I didn't even mention.
No. I'm not. Sorry, Flynn. I didn't mean to say that you were like telling people to vote for your stuff or anything like that. I don't even know if you entered. I just mean that like you can have like a vote for like most popular, but personally, I feel like that can become a popularity contest. And if the one person gets enough people that he knows to vote for them, maybe they win. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
We're straight back to the Middle Ages.
Just disclaimer, I have entered. I am not mentioned. Just vote for who you think is best. And also, Hive Fleet Mantis has their Hive Fleet Mantis competition where people are painting it up in their color scheme as well.
Okay, another thing. Oh, Dave Weston's here. Hey, Dave. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Good to see you. 40K Addict, I think, is Dave Weston's handle. He sent me some nice stuff a while back. Unpopular opinion, I think, but I also find the Mantis competition a little cringy. Like, going like, paint your models in my color scheme. Isn't my color scheme so great? You should paint like me. I'm like,
Okay, I see the point, but I'm not 100% sure that he's aware of that.
No, he probably means well. Like, he definitely means well, but that's just what I think of when I see it. Because I'm like, I'm about celebrating everyone's diversity of color schemes. Like we just did the Gaunt swap, which, yes, I know I still have to get the Gaunt swap gaunts out. I'm sorry. I will do that soon. The Gaunt swap was all about showcasing the various schemes of different people. And Mantis participated in the Gaunt swap. And I feel very fortunate to have an actual Hive Mantis painted Gaunt in my collection because they're great. It's a great scheme. Like, I got no problem with Scream. It's a great scheme, but I don't know. It just feels a little self-referential, let us say.
Yeah,
I've got one
it's a
bit for
game,
you.
right?
Simon, go ahead.
It's the Instagram game.
Yeah.
Because the concept is pretty easy. Just have as many people reference to him.
Oh, I didn't even think about that angle.
I get it, but I've also got the other bit is his scheme looks so detailed and so complicated. It's also showing you that doesn't matter what level you are, you can still paint my color scheme. So
Sure.
don't believe that the color scheme you want to do is out of your reach. Go for it.
That is a
That's why I'm looking
very,
at the positive
very
side.
kind and optimistic take, Flynn, that you're doing there. But yeah, it struck me as weird. It struck me as a little self-referential, and like the first time he did it, I was like, oh, okay, cool idea. And then it came back. I'm like, oh, this is happening again. So I don't know.
didn't get enough followers the first time.
Hey, listen, I don't know. I don't think that's what he's doing. I don't think he's trying to get followers. I'm not trying to cast shade on Hive Mantis. I'm just saying that personally, I was given pause.
Oh.
Well, it's something I would do if I would want to grow. If I take the Instagrams, I'm not judging. It's everyone can do what they want, and there are way more weird things happening on Instagram or social media. But for example, Jesus, I'm getting really old. Just one last story. I was looking up Greek mythology for kids because my son is all about Greek mythology right now.
Smart.
And there have been some audio plays in the German radio, which I listened to years ago, and I was like, this surely is somewhere in on YouTube. And so I looked up for Greek mythology audio play kids. And what I ended up with, I scrolled through a couple of things, and I think I was 15 entries down on YouTube, where I saw some Islamistic dudes firing a gun at something.
What?
And I was like, fuck. This should not be here. I know I didn't have any. Sorry?
Did you report it? You got to report that shit when you see it, because they have no way of accurately moderating anything. They need humans to moderate for them. You got to report it when you see it.
That fucking bothers me. Like that was really disturbing.
So did you report it?
Yeah, of course.
Good man.
Because we haven't mentioned it, Gideon Smith just says they've been lurking for a while, but they're first time chatter.
Oh, great. Glad you jumped in the chat. Glad you subscribed and jumped in the chat. We know that if you're in the chat, you're a subscriber, so thank you.
Woohoo. To me, it feels like a long time listener, first time caller.
I like that.
Nice.
I get that reference. I feel like that's an old man reference. No one calls anymore.
Well,
listen to a radio station.
My wife's always like, just call them. I'm like, oh god, cringy. I'm not going to call them. I got to text them first. I'm going to call them.
Don't want the human interaction.
For a call.
What? No, it doesn't. It's not the don't want the human interaction. It's like, it just feels invasive. I don't know why. Anyway, whatever. That's my issue.
Yeah.
Oh, ding!
What?
When so normally we have Hive Fleet Moloch with us. He's ill this week. I hope he feels better soon. But one of the things that I thought we could talk about with Moloch, because I know he's a lover of them, is the new Kroot. It came out last weekend. I don't know. I've got some ideas that I want to do with these Kroot boys. On their own, they're very cromulent model. They're perfectly cromulent models. They do their job very well, especially the Ox. He's my favorite. But yeah, I feel like they're pretty plain. Like, good for giving a lot of room for you to customize them, but especially when they started with that cool kill team of them and they had all that cool shit on them, and then they released the plain ones. I understand they're different things, but anyway, I got to put some cool shit on these to make them my own.
Yeah, but this is something that I really think is great. It's a great move to keep them plain. So they're basically like a canvas which you can paint
Yes.
on in your style.
Very wise. Also, how many times has everyone complained about Games Workshop putting too much detail on models?
Exactly. And now you have something that is plain, where you can add whatever you want. And that's pretty good. At least in my book.
Yeah. Oh, because I was randomly thinking about this, Simon, I just wanted to let you know that when I gave you that lictor and I was like, make me proud, I just wanted you to like assemble it and just have fun with it. Not like do anything fancy. I don't know if you've even thought of it, but yeah, but just because I found it a very like pleasing model to just assemble normally.
I looked at it and I marveled at how complicated the kit is and how things go together, and was like, okay, there's no way I'm going to bash it right now into something.
No, like, dude, like the first lictor I ever got is this dude right here. Oh, my battery's dying. What? Shutter release disabled. Oh, damn it. My camera just died. Still haven't gotten like an actual cable for this thing. I'm running it off of successive batteries because I'm slumming it like that. I'm a chump. I've told people before that I fully believe that the model that should have won Model of the Year in 2023 was the new Tyranid Lictor, because this is an immaculate piece of model making, sculpting. And I built my first one stock almost completely. I think I did some weirdness with the feet. I like changed these claws to like be pointing backwards instead of pointing forwards. And I think I put like two arms together that weren't supposed to go together. And maybe something up here. So I used different parts of the kit, but I didn't like actually like actively cut and reposition anything.
So
yeah.
yes, that is still stock.
Yeah, it's pretty stock. So
They have.
I just wanted you to play with a stock, sorry, I won't bear with. Play with a stock lictor, Simon, so you could see it and appreciate it.
Thank you. I think my thinking about it, what I want to do is at some point is I made this lictor, which was always my favorite, which is crawling down a pillar.
Yep.
And I would love to turn this new kit into the same pose.
The box.
Oh,
pose.
nice! I like that.
Like,
say Box had one of those too.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought Flynn was saying that Box had, because Box also did converted lictor crawling down a pole.
I just know that as the box pose because of that one.
Yeah, a Box stole it from me.
Ah!
But yes. He just made it just look way better.
As he does. Cheeky bugger.
That man has many talents.
He's literally good at
Too
everything.
many talents, if you ask.
You don't know who we're talking about. We're talking about Bits of Box. Go check Bits of Box out on Instagram. So flippin' good at everything.
Yep.
Oh, and then I finally, in my random hobbiness around other stuff, I finally finished lictorifying my Von Rhines Leapers, so they can be like little buddies for this guy. Hey, big brother, how's it going? Hey, big buddy. Oh, we're so happy to see you. Let's go kill some people. Get out of here. I'm trying to sneak up on somebody. Anyway, yeah, just like filling in the gaps on their feeder tendrils where I chopped out the mandibles and giving them Gene Stealer claws. So now I gotta prime them.
Nice.
Okay, I think that's it, my friends.
That was quite long after you said you're going to wrap it.
After Diana said goodnight and Tom said goodnight, we probably lost them because they're like, oh, I guess this is over. Thank you, Flynnhammer. Flynnhammer has put Bits of Box, a link to Bits of Box profile in the chat for anyone who needs it. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's joined. Dave Weston, Radon, Gideon Smith, Diana, Tom Wilson, Brett was here earlier, jumping between the streams. Daka Flacka Flame was here and said hello. I failed to say hello to Daka Flacka Flame. I don't know if Daka Flacka is still here, but good to see you. Oh, Will, it was here. Tactical D-Bag. So he jumped between streams.
There's a lot of jumping today.
Yeah, who else? Oh, Dino Sly was here. Sorry, missed saying hi to Dino Sly. Moose Heist, best name. Oh, Kajan was also here. Yeah, awesome. We had a whole crew.
Kajan always pops in and does the whole the stream.
Yes, well, as Kajan. Dino Sly's still here. Just saying hi, buddy. Did you walk in right now? Hey, Dino Sly. Nice to see you walk in. That's a very shiny costume you're wearing right now. Looks very comfortable. And oh my, that haircut, the best. Daka Flaka's here. Daka Flaka, good luck with your 3D printer. I hope it goes well. And as Kajan might not be here anymore, please like and subscribe. Like this video. I always forget to like videos all the time. People are hitting the heart in the chat. I don't know. Is that likes? I don't know if that's like an actual video like.
So that is extra engagement, which helps.
Fantastic.
To boost the stream. But definitely do put a like on.
Yeah, I think you have to actually like close the chat, go and press the up thumb thing, and then you can go back to the chat if you want. But we're shutting it down now anyway.
That's if you're on. That's if you're on mobile. Do that if you're on desktop.
Yeah.
You can do both.
So
also,
yeah,
you had that Fenrir workshop.
Oh yes, if you look in the description of this video, there's two ways that you can support the channel. You can support me on Patreon with some small donation, or you can support by, if you're in North America, buying from Fenris Workshop. And if you've never bought from Fenris Workshop before, you're in for a treat because they sell stuff discounted, but they also have a 10% discount code, which is pink, all caps, pink-Fenris. It's in the thing. I've written it out in the description. You can go check it out. So you can get 10% off your first order. The only restriction is that they can't ship New Games Workshop to the United States because they're based in Canada, but they do sell all kinds of other stuff. Like you can get Monument Hobbies, you can get AK stuff from them, whatever. That horrible place we don't talk about, they sell that too, unfortunately, because it's easy to sell that crap. What?
I said boo.
Boo.
I know that.
I've spoken to the proprietors of the store, and they've said, listen, these people carry literally everything. We would have to buy it from 3 different companies. We can get it all from them. I'm like, I understand as a business. I'm trying to encourage them to get some green stuff from other people so I can recommend that. But anyway, yeah, so that's one way that you can support the channel. If you're buying stuff, you can buy stuff from Fenris Workshop. And a lot of people have done that. If you're one of the people who listen to the stream who has used that link and has bought stuff from Fenris using my affiliate link, I see that. Like, legit, I just got the Crute box with funds that were earned through people using that affiliate link. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it definitely works. Fenris is ridiculous. Fenris not only gave me an affiliate link, they also have like this point system so that as you buy stuff, you accrue points to buy more stuff. And I've bought like some stuff on Fenris, but I didn't think I'd bought that much stuff. Like I have a buttload of points. So their point system works very well. Oh, Dino Slide just got Yoo-Hoo Glue. Fantastic. There you go.
Hey!
Yeah. The only thing with Fenris is that I think their minimum order is 125 to get free shipping, but you're buying Games Workshop crap. I think you're gonna find. Like I just bought a bunch of stuff to do some weird things with these Crudy boys, and I bought it from Fenris, and I got to 125. It was no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, kids, I'm going to hit it.
Yeah, let's hit it.
As you do.
Thanks, Simon. Have a good night. Thank you, Flynnhammer. Have a good sleep. Thank you, Symbio Joe.
Thank you, world.
You guys are all awesome, and I really appreciate you. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, yeah, Dino Sly. Get a new email. You can use the new email, and you can use the code. Unfortunately, if you didn't know about the code. Or you get your friend to order on it. I used my wife used my code to buy something for me for Christmas. You can do whatever. All right, we're off. Bye.